Are you listening now? Thou shalt not enter thy brother's room.
Wow.
What the? Nice job.
You started it, butthole.
What is this crap? Are you fighting again?
Welcome back to Life is Strange 2. Last time we played, some not so great things happened. Mostly to our lovely friend Captain Spirit. This kiddo really believed that they had the powers and that they were helping us, and then put themselves in an unsafe situation. Just horrible. And Daniel and Sean decided to go to California, like hop the train, that kind of thing. So, in theory, that's where we left off. But we'll have to see if there's like a time skip. What goes on? Hopefully nothing bad happens.
Once upon a time, in a wild world, there were two wolf brothers living in their home lair with their papa wolf. They all lived happily together, but one day, hunters took their dad away. Forever. So now the brothers were alone. And they had to find a new home. That's when the big brother discovered that the little one was not an ordinary wolf, but a super wolf. And then they worked together to learn how to use his power and to follow the rules for them. They discovered a secret hideout where they could train day and night. They were happy. But the little wolf got very sick, so they had to move on. On the way, a deadly predator attacked them. But they scared it away. They decided to journey to the home of their nearby ancestors to seek help. Finally, the tired and hungry brothers made it to the home of their ancestors. The old wolves invited them to stay. They even took care of them. They were happy to have a safe, warm place to rest.
It's a Christmas tree.
The little wolf even made friends with a raccoon.
Oh.
And together, they went on awesome adventures. Unfortunately, hunters were hot on their trail and found them. But the tiny raccoon helped the brothers escape and got badly hurt. The brothers had nowhere to stay again, so they decided to keep going south to the distant homeland of their papa wolf.
The way they added the sound effect there for the crash. This is a story-based game that highlights player choice. Your actions and decisions will have consequences that impact the world around you and your brother. Choose wisely. Which implies, again, that everything that happened with Chris was our fault. Not our fault, I guess. My fault. A consequence of my own choices and actions. Which never feels great. It's so hard to make these decisions not knowing what the consequences are going to be. Not like we ever know what the consequences of our choices are going to be. Which in a way mirrors reality, right? Is this Sean's room? In Seattle? Yeah, I remember that poster. Are we dreaming of home? Because surely we're not there. Oh, that would be a terrible dream to wake up from and to have it be like, surprise! Shit's gone south. Real fast. These like daily living things, these things about life that we take for granted, that we don't think we'll miss. Not a single father. We don't think we'll miss these things until they're gone. I think of that with like friends or family that are gone, who've like passed away. We don't really think about that stuff until suddenly they're not there, or the little ways that impacts us. This, however, is starting to feel like a flashback, because I don't think Sean would just like dream of his brother sneaking into his room to steal something. Isn't that where the pipe was?
No way, you little shit. Daniel, get your ass over here now.
Somebody's in trouble,
So
trouble,
busted.
trouble. 3 months before the incident. So we can explore the room again. Oh, this is so bittersweet. I don't think we can explore everything again, can we?
Man, I suck at perspective. I should take a class.
I wonder if this drawing is finished, if we were to look at it earlier in the game. But this kind of shows that I know I'd commented before this idea that like Sean so often criticizes himself a lot. Like the levels of badness that I had talked about before.
Shit. I can't wait for the show with the whole crew.
Oh.
Man, that would fucking kill me if he found this.
I don't know if he would though.
So he better not find it.
That's the solution. So I guess if Daniel did take something from that drawer, I mean, at least if it was a pipe, it wasn't also the stuff you put in the pipe, so to speak. Cover letter. We didn't see that before. School book.
I hope they don't expect me to remember all this when school starts.
Probably not. The S, the stereotypical S that you always draw on your stuff. We can use the laptop. Gift coupon.
Lila keeps hooking me up with birthday gifts. She's more excited than I am.
So maybe Lila's way of showing affection is giving gifts. What's the cover letter for?
So much bullshit. But I got phone and party bills now.
Dear Z-Mart Sales Department Manager. So this is the job that we had before everything went horribly wrong. My name is Sean Diaz, and I am a 16-year-old high school student. So this is like someone edited it, either Sean or someone else. I can't tell if the circles mean like take that out or just like highlighting the fact that like there should be, I guess, hyphens there. I'm a 16-year-old high school student with a 3.5 GPA. Mrs. Castillo from the Future Youth Project referred. So like couple editing things here. Me to your store and department to apply for the position of part-time assistant manager. I have worked in customer service at my father's garage since I was 13 and have experience with people and registers. As a track runner, I also know how important it is to be part of a team, and since I already know your sports department, I think it would be a great addition to the Z-Mart sales team. Thank you. I hope to hear back from you soon. Sincerely yours, or sincerely, Sean Diaz.
Need to put on the patch I bought last week.
Oh, wow. Seeing all these, like, mundane things before, again, everything went to hell. And not like pine cones. The pine cones we could say are mundane. It's a little different. That, like, hits different. Way to save your artwork, Picasso. Time for a new sketchbook. Oh, so this is before the dad bought it. Oh! You can just, like, toggle between them. Okay. Oh,
Need to put on the patch I bought last week.
so what patch? Oh, we can't actually look at the patches from there. I thought we could. So Daniel came in and did something with the backpack? Look at the skateboard. Oh, patch.
Scored it at the skate park last week. Now I need to sew it on.
Oh. Patches that have to be sewn on always seemed like too much work for me. That's just me.
Dad thinks I'll stop skating if I get a car when I turn 16. Wrong.
You don't know me. I think it's easier to keep skating if I say this is someone who doesn't skate. But like if you live in a town where like it's within walking distance, then skating feels easier than driving everywhere.
Maybe he's How did I get Lila to talk me into this shit?
So this is a conversation between Lila, Adam, Ellery, and Sean on Facebook. Who's up for the reservoir dive tomorrow? Pass homework. Bullshit. He's going in his birthday suit. Wow. How? There's a big fence. Jump it, track star. Wire cutters, just in case. I'll take a rain check. No way out, birthday boy. Answer the phone. There's no backing out. So literally about his birthday, and also like birthday suit.
Looking kind of lame.
Oh.
Swipe left.
Oh. So again, like levels of badness and like having a hard time seeing good qualities in himself. I don't think that's a bad picture. But that's another thing that I've noticed about Sean's Facebook from what little glimpses we got, that there aren't pictures of himself there. Like his profile picture is a dog. Granted, we can have animals for our profile picture, but like for what little I remember of it, there aren't pictures of ourselves, there are not pictures of Sean. So it doesn't seem like Sean likes pictures of himself, which is an easy thing to have happen when we have a hard time with self-esteem. If we only see the negatives, why would we want to see pictures of ourselves out there? Because then we'll only see how shitty we look, especially when compared to other people. So I think we've looked at everything. Now I just have to hunt our brother down. Oh, Daniel. I don't think it'll be that easy to just like go into his room. So this icon with the blue triangle means an interaction with Daniel is available. Okay, so kind of like how it's always been. The toilet seat's up. I just don't see it being that easy. It just seems obvious.
They're probably gonna bury me in this thing.
So the fact that he always likes that hoodie kind of explains why the same hoodie's been worn the entire time, and not just the fact that, like, I don't know, they don't have new clothes in the current time where they're like, I don't know, running from the police.
Wish I had more time to play. Unless we're summer school.
So Sean's always had a hard time with grades? Oh, we are... This is just like when we were at the grandparents' house and it's like, we're just searching. Are you here? It's the exact same thing.
Oh, no time for this. Where are...
I like how we've looked in one spot so far and Sean's like, I don't have time for this. Okay. I mean, the most logical spot, I suppose, is the room.
Of course. Like I want to play fucking hide and seek.
Yeah. Like how Sean is like, of course he's not in his room. Like, I don't have time for this. And I'm sitting here going, oh, Daniel's room. We've never been in here.
Isn't Daniel too old for bedtime stories?
I mean, maybe, but if it's a comfort thing for him, who cares? Right? Like your hoodie. That is not a pose that I expected from Power Bear. Shouldn't have messed with Power Bear. Is the back of your costume torn off and your butt crack showing through? Power Bear, aren't you for kids? Just not what I expected.
Okay, I'm done. Where the fuck is he?
I'm still looking at things.
Who would have thought playing Minecraft would get him back to his blocks?
I mean, I guess.
Got this for a girl in the 8th grade. But I chickened out.
Oh.
I used to play with these at Ellery's. Man, I feel old.
You feel old. You feel old. You made that comment before. When you were, like, your very first night of camping, you were like, oh man, the 80s were ancient. You feel old.
gift from Lila. Daniel never got so close to proposing to her.
Daniel and Lila really are fond of each other. Like, she seems to be really nice to him, and he, of course, is very fond of her. What type of Junji Ito shit is that on the wall?
Too bad we didn't have a clue she hated all of us.
So, because Mom left, there's a lot of resentment and bitterness that Sean has for her, which I think is fair, valid. Like, I can see why. It feels understandable. It also feels understandable that Daniel doesn't have that. And like, Daniel has this curiosity for this mom that he hasn't really connected with. So like, holding on to whatever things he has of hers. Even if it's like a gym membership card or whatever it is.
This thing is so cheap and ugly. I love it.
I was sitting here thinking, it doesn't matter though if he likes it, but Sean likes it too.
So lucky Noah lives downtown. Else they'd drive me crazy 24/7. Man, my brother's a little player. Lila loves it.
Lila, thank you so much for the box of candy. I love them. You are nice. Oh, it's so cute. Bad report. So is Sean not the only one who has a hard time at school?
Ooh, Dad confiscated the playbox after that.
Oh, okay,
Daniel
so
was a total rage ball.
so at least though, like, they're not hiding it from the dad? Please see teacher with parent. For a D? Toilet paper rolls.
What is he making with all that crap?
Probably the rocket that he gave you.
Did this for Daniel's birthday. He was so happy with it.
Dang. So I think we've explored everything here. Now I just have to actually find him. Oh, is there new stuff here? Barbecue tools.
Dad got in trouble for his last barbecue. Hope he does it again, so I can come this time.
Why couldn't you go last time? Was the getting in trouble at the last barbecue, was that with the neighbor?
I would have been pissed if I was there. Asshole.
Oh, I think this is a new letter. Hey neighbor, I want to let you know I didn't appreciate you calling the cops on me and my friends last week. I know it was late, but it was Saturday and we weren't having a big party and you could have just asked me to turn the music down. Plus, we didn't leave those bottles in the gutter on purpose. Instead, you made a big show and got the cops involved. They harassed us for an hour. Wow. So is this the barbecue that he was just talking about? They even thought I stole one of my own cars. That's an assumption. I'm glad my kids weren't home to see this. Yeah, so this is the barbecue I was just talking about. Try knocking next time you're a neighbor. So all of these assumptions, right? The assumption is that, like, I can't go over there and have a conversation with them and just ask them to turn down the music. Or the assumption is, like, I shouldn't have to. Or the assumption is they're up to no good. All these kind of like stereotype assumptions that also go hand in hand with bigotry. Same with the cops, right? This idea of like, oh, these cars must be stolen. Whew. Workbook. I'm assuming that's the same neighbor from the very beginning too.
Sucks to be Daniel, but he can't bug me all the time.
You have homeschool too, Sean. I'm just saying. Okay. So we've checked out all of that. I guess it
so busted.
Makes sense for him to be in the basement with the dad, almost like, hey dad, help me. Oh, what about the dad's room? We couldn't go into the dad's room before. I would be very interested in the dad's room. To look into it and snoop.
Daniel is psyched, but I'd rather just go with Lila and the crew.
Yeah. I can see that too, this idea that like because Daniel has this like fondness, I mean like we could call it a crush, but there's a certain part of me that also wonders if it's not even really a crush, it's just like I like the attention that I get from this friend. from Lila, right? Between Daniel and Lila. But then I can also see Sean just being like, I just want to hang out with my friends. Just leave me alone. It's already sometimes hard as an older sibling when your younger siblings look up to you and want to hang out with you. And so that can already be hard. But then you add on to the fact that they don't just want to hang out with you, they want to hang out with your other friends. That can be harder because then you don't feel like you have your own sense of independence. I thought I heard sirens.
Sorry, Andrew. I'm the free babysitter now.
So we have a couple places we can look for Daniel. We can look behind this, which just like has our own shoes in there, I believe. We can look in the basement where the dad is. We can look in the dad's room. I like the idea of the dad's room. Because why else would we go and have this flashback if it wasn't to have it be in the dad's room and to give us something new that we haven't seen before?
Could be anywhere.
We already looked in the basement. We've already seen the basement. We already talked to our dad. I feel like the dad's room then... Because, like, we were already able to go and to look in Daniel's room right now, which is new for us. The dad's room makes the most logical sense for the next place for him to be so we can look there and get more information, especially if...
Whoa, hold on.
Let go!
Especially for building
Dude, I told you to stay out of my room.
towards looking
Ow! That hurt!
Yeah.
or
I'm
going
not
to the
fucking
mom.
around anymore. Got it?
Oh, shampoo or hit yourself? I don't know what these options are. Also, this controller is like rumbling. Rumbling. The controller wants you to know that this is a sibling rivalry rumble wrestling match, whatever you want to call it. So, I guess when I picture these options, shampoo or hit yourself, I picture this being like the whole sibling, like, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. I don't know what it means by shampoo. Like, surely we're not going to like shampoo, like push shampoo in Daniel's face, are we? That doesn't feel great. Hit yourself? I don't know.
Are you listening now? Thou shall not enter thy brother's room.
Wow.
What the fuck? Nice job.
You started it, butthole!
What is this crap? Are you fighting again?
You proud of yourself?
Stop it!
Enough! Getting tired of this. Sean, what happened? Now!
I had to pause because I feel like if this is one of the ones where if I don't answer right away, the game knows and it reacts. I'm sitting here reacting like, whoa, don't do that. But I'm also coming from an adult perspective where I've had more time to learn and grow and develop ways of coping and adapting and communicating and all of that fantastic stuff that happens when we grow. And adults also have more of the ability to say no to situations and to walk away from situations that kids don't have. So I'm sitting here from the adult perspective looking at this going, probably not the greatest, but this is like something that happens to siblings. It's not great, but it happens. And sometimes this is part of like learning how to figure your shit out as far as like communication and sharing and boundaries and all this other stuff. Just need a second to like process all of that. Because yes, it's not great that Daniel just came into our room, but it's also not great that our reaction was to make him hit himself. And then we blamed him. It's like, this is your fault. That's also not great. Whew, okay. Just goofing around or he never listens. Just goofing around doesn't seem like the truth.
He always gets mad
He's
at
totally lying. You little...
Enough! You both better listen because I'm tired of this crap, okay? This is my house too, not your playground. You hear me? Jeez.
He is pissed.
You guys are working my last nerve this week. You okay, mijo? I'm going to talk with your brother. You know the drill. Bedroom and no games.
I didn't do anything.
Uh-huh. Let's talk.
Ugh,
Now.
This is so stupid.
bullshit.
Okay. You really taught that book a lesson. You done?
Whatever. Like you're gonna believe me. Daniel's always right.
There's that teenage part of me that like related so hard to this. This idea that like people don't believe us, adults don't understand us, is very much like a thing when we're a teenager. And also like having a hard time with our emotions, partly because like hormones are a thing, but also because like we may not have the skills and we haven't had the practice. I feel like this is a perfect example of like teenagerhood. So much so that, like I said, it's like, oh yeah, I felt that. I felt that.
Look. Please? Listen, Sean. I can't do this on my own. I can't. I need you to help me. I know you don't want to babysit Daniel. You grow up, you need space, more freedom. I get it. But we're a trio now, and you gotta take some responsibility. That little shit is just a kid. You're almost an adult.
He's spoiled, or I know. I mean, I think any older sibling would think that their younger sibling is spoiled. Just kind of like inherently, and I think that siblings are often very aware of this idea of fairness. How fair is it? How fair are things in comparison? I know.
I know that. And I do look out for him. I swear. But he's a little brat.
So were you. And you had 8 years of being spoiled before you had to share toys with your little brother. I know it might sound cheesy, but we have to be good role models for him. He's a Diaz, right?
I hear you, or don't want to babysit him. I don't think that there are right or wrong answers for this. Isn't that where the difficulty comes in? Yes, I hear you.
Okay, I hear you. I'll try to be super bro.
Just try to be there for him, like you are now. Says mi hijo. I'm late for work. Go talk to your brother and work this drama out. We'll go to the movies tonight if you guys don't wreck the house. I know you love to hear this. But I'm proud of you. Both of you.
Okay, get back to work.
What is nice about this scene, flashback, whatever,
Be nice and don't break anything else.
is that it gives Sean more dimensions to his character. We've seen Sean up until now just basically constantly step up and constantly do parenting for his brother. And it's not something that's really questioned. He just always does it. It's just like, this is my job. This is what I do, right? Like, I'm the older sibling. This is just what's expected of me. And like, yeah, there's like somewhat of a feeling that like, it's not what he wants. But this adds more layers to that, and the fact that like, he really didn't want to do this. He had those fights with his brother. There was more tension there sometimes than others. And I appreciate that. It makes Sean feel more human.
I better do something about Daniel. Can I come in? It's the big, bad brother.
No! Stay out!
So he comes in
I
anyways.
said no! Get out! I'm not listening. La 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 la. I
Come
don't hear
on, dude.
anything. La la la.
So we're using things to like get him to talk to us? I mean, there's also a certain point where we can just let him calm down until he's ready to talk. You can't just like force people to talk to you. Oh, too bad we can't use Lila's letter. That feels like
I better do something about Daniel.
Lila's letter feels like it would be the easiest thing to make a connection with. I guess why don't we start with the drawing?
Whoa. Don't know who drew this, but it's totally rad.
Hey, Daniel. Why are you pouting? A young space warrior should never pout. We need to stand strong against the enemy. Come on, man.
I'm running out of punchlines here.
Leave me alone.
Can we actually just leave him alone?
And don't touch my stuff.
I didn't. I didn't touch anything. I'm just talking through it.
Oh,
No, I
forgot
didn't. I
about
touched it.
Bobby the Yeti. I brought it back from that field trip to Vancouver. I mean, who does that? Other than a super cool big brother.
Ah, he's right, Daniel. You should totally forgive him.
It all has the same voice.
See? I'm not saying it. Bobby does.
Why are you still here?
What about the spaceship that he
Sean,
just dropped?
I'm gonna tell on you. I mean,
You mean what? This is the kind of thing where it's like, who are you gonna tell? Right? Like, Dad's gone. I'm essentially the parent here. Who are you gonna tell?
Hey. That's cool. Did you make it?
be careful.
Whoa.
It's fragile.
No problem. Suddenly you're Mr. Careful. Okay if I sit down? So, when did you get this?
Last month, Dad said I should learn to do stuff by myself, since you're not around as much.
Hey, come on. It's not like I'm leaving home.
You might as well. I never see you. We don't even play games anymore. We don't do anything.
Daniel, I want to hang out with my friends sometimes. You're gonna be doing the same thing in a couple of years.
Hi. I don't want to grow up. It's boring.
The difference a couple of years makes.
Here. Sorry I took it.
That's what you wanted? That stupid watch?
You said you'd get me one at the thrift store last week, but you forgot. Like before.
Well, you better keep this watch then.
Wow! Thanks, Sean! This is so cool! I'll keep it forever and ever.
So the dad is having conversations with Daniel, encouraging him to like do things on his own. It wasn't like he was just telling Sean, you have to be the parent, right? He was working with them individually on their own individual things. Trying to help them grow in their own ways for what they each needed. Which can be hard to see if we only see our own stuff. This feels more like the current moment. Somebody has significantly longer hair. Oh, it's a puppy. Puppy's like, good sniffs. So that's the same dog as before. They must have met back up with them, and you can see them in the drawings in the background. The I forget their names, but the people that we saw in town before, we must have met back up with them in California. Why do we still have these pine cones?
Man, Beaver Creek feels so far away.
We don't know how long ago Beaver Creek was. So this is Daniel's stuff? This looks like Daniel's stuff. Just Yo-Yo. Baby doll. Ooh, okay, journal. We read this about the rules. These are watercolors, December 9th. This is what we drew at the grandparents' house. What the hell, Daniel? The first fucking rule. What was the first rule again? Discretion. Don't leave the house. Disconnection. No phone, no internet. I think I followed that one. But the discretion part. First fucking rule. That drawing where the only red is the cape gave me a different vibe at first. What was that kid running away from? Did his father see something? Oh, this is the zombie drawing we did for Chris. December, is that 11th? Daniel really fucked up this time. He's got to learn to keep his mouth shut. The Spirit Squad. Is that a zombie or Chris with the candy cane? Anyways, not really in the mood for Christmas, but I'll play along for Daniel. He really misses having fun with like any normal kid. Yeah. And then the girl with the guitar, I forget her name. December 11th? Still, my brain hurts. Daniel's pissed we had to leave. I don't like it either. Now we're back on our own again. Now he blames me for Chris. Yeah. What else could I do? Only tried to watch out for my brother. Please let Chris be okay. Maybe it's time to start praying. Yeah. And then a wolf eating the car. Police car. Please, please be okay. Yeah, that poor kid. I wish you could stay here with us. I know. I hope you get well soon, old man. So we're hopping on a train, or on a freight train headed south, WTF. But we're closer to Puerto Lobos. Daniel's cold and hungry like me. So glad he loves the train. If we weren't fugitives, this would be a fun adventure. So it goes. December 12th, snow is gone, which means it's go time for us. California, here we come. December 12th, homeless again. Not fair to Daniel. It's not fair to both of you. Like, the game focuses a lot on how Sean is like almost an adult, but almost isn't like the same. He is still a kid. I hate this. December 17th, we finally hit Northern California, jumped off the train, and walked forever, but we found a little town. Yes, we had to steal food. Sorry, what now? Looked for any work. Met a weird guy who said we could get work on a local something. Oh my gosh, you can get subtitles. You can read it this way. I had no idea. I looked for work, met a weird guy who said we could get work on a local farm, even if we don't have any ID. I know why, but no choice. At least we found shelter. Is that for the lovely green herb? People on the farm are cool. They don't ask questions. Grunt work won't get us to Puerto Lobos, though. Daniel likes the place. Good thing I can go work on my own. Weird being without him 24/7. I bet. Make your choice. 4. I miss Dad's barbecue ribs. 12.18. Yard work, $30. 12.20. Clean porta potty, 25. Never again. 12.21. Move furniture, 20. Beer. 12.22. Hold deli sign, $10. Fuck this. Nails. Ah. Okay, so keeping a tally of like how much money they're making. Crazy how many missing person posters there are everywhere. The fuck is wrong with this region? That's not great. I don't like that. Burger for Christmas Eve. First Christmas without Dad. That's always sad. Like major holidays, especially the first ones without family. It's like a huge reminder that they're not there anymore. Eats like a little piggy. Okay. Burger sauce, sesame seeds, meat juice stains, Christmas treat. Daniel's masterpiece. Hey, you know, I think Daniel's art is getting better, actually. Practice helps. What does this last part say? What have I become? Stacking up $1 at a time, putting up fences, nailing shit. Not bad, just boring. Well, and I imagine being in a place like California helps because it's warmer. Happy New Year 2017. Everyone's out partying, not us. Need to practice more. And this paint is pretty cool. Citrus vampire only eats the orange color. Bored AF, doodle time. Monsters got soft. Monsters got soft nerds too. Got kicked off the ranch and the motherfucker only paid me half. What the fuck? He told me to call the police or get lost. Wow. It's this idea that like if someone is struggling and working under the table, then like they get taken advantage of, or they're easier to be taken advantage of because like how are you gonna get your money, right? Land of the fucking free bitches, we're so gone. That sucks. These ones are harder for me to read. Daniel wanted to see the ocean, so we hitchhiked to Arctica? We got this now, easy ride. Glad we could do this for free, and the water always makes me feel better. Daniel had fun. Hippie ground zero, lots of weed and dancing. Yay, science! Would vampires suck bloodshot eyes as mini cocktail sausages? Oh, okay. January 22nd. So it has been a while. It was like December 11th when they left their grandparents. The upside down question mark. I'm sure there's a name for that. For like questions in Spanish, I believe. What the fuck the what? We bumped into the hipster punks from Christmas market. They actually work on a weed farm. Off the books. Well paid. They invited us. Happy fucking New Year. So we have Finn and Cassidy. That's who we saw before. And then Hannah and Rennie. And then the dog. Cassidy. So Cassidy is who we met before. She's so cool and different. From planet Zero Fucks Given. Sings like a pro. Jokes funny as hell. Daniel's not sure about her. Everybody loves him though. Except Meryl and Big Joe. Ain't all smirks and giggles. My arms hurt from work, but getting strong. Need more sleep. I think she likes me? Shit, that looks lethal. Finn. The green philosopher. Leader of the group. Knows everything about weed. He's also the smartest guy I've ever met. Taught me everything about trimming and shit. Can't figure him out, but he's smart. Only Hannah can drag his ass. Knife master. Like hanging out with him though. Amazing sunset. We watched it in silence and smoked a joint. Okay. So we're learning about these characters through Sean's like observations of them, right? Like Cassidy is the one who is like able to make observations about others that they can't, potentially through humor. Finn is like the smart one, so as in like he knows when to do like the trimmings and things like that. It's fun to draw Hannah and Penny. They look anti-fashion icons from Santa Fe and Detroit. I think Hannah hates my guts. She's older and thinks I'm a fake. Penny has a theory for everything. Paranoid much? But he makes me laugh. We had to clean the greenhouse today. Fun. Feels good to make money every day and save up. Met the new workers from Europe. Wow. Anders and Ingrid. Or Ingrid? I like the spelling. Cute couple. Makes me want to travel overseas someday. Had a long talk with Jacob. He's like a little kid. He lives in some religious he lived in some religious commune from Haven Point, Nevada. Looks fine here. Free? These are a lot of names and people I'm probably gonna forget. Meryl is the owner. Big Joe is the goon. Damn, okay. How big is this farm to where they need muscle? Had a few beers. Daniel's asleep. Same night, every night. He wants to train more, but we don't have time. Plus, we gotta hide. It's not that easy. Well, now it's like, before it was like, this was their only life. Their only life was like running away, and that was their only focus. So it would have been easier to train. Now it's like, they're actually doing like work plus everything else. So fitting training in would be exhausting on top of everything else. So now it is February 23rd. So it's been at least 2 months. Wow, okay.
I just hope Chris is okay after that car.
Probably would have been the news if you'd wanted to look it up.
Guess he doesn't care about it anymore. Daniel keeps reading it again and again. I told him not to count on her. He won't listen.
Well, at this point, the mom is like new and shiny. We very much like new and shiny things.
Another month, and we'll be hooked up for Mexico.
Dang. How would you know how much money you would need for that trip, especially if you've never been there?
Still can't believe we ran into the guys again. Talk about fucking fate.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yep. I'm a real man now. Kind of.
Shaving a deodorant? Is that what we're talking about? I didn't realize we had to put pants on. The hoodie has to be stitched up now.
Hey, bedhead. Had a good sleep?
Oh, hi, yeah, I did. Thanks.
Nice. Okay. I better hit the shower before they use all the water.
Right. See you around.
Hey, Sean. Breakfast time.
I'm just processing for a second. I guess when I came out of the tent, I didn't expect boobs. Just not what I expected. So that's probably gonna be censored. Just not what I was expecting. I was probably still processing when they said whatever they said because I didn't process whatever words came out of their mouth. Just full boobs. And that must be a very normal thing if it was such a casual thing that nobody else commented on. Finn's tent. Finn is the one who knows stuff. Cassidy's tent. Cassidy's the smart one, if we're going to stereotypes, right? What is it?
Gotta have backup signs. Jeez. She's way messier than me.
I mean, it's all kind of in one
It's hard
spot.
to believe.
Okay. I'm still processing. This is like when we first got to the grandparents' house, right? Like, it seems like every episode, I guess. Every chunk of the game starts off with like, here's your new environment that you've been living in for the last few months, and then like we as a player get to explore it. Redwoods. Wow.
I do love these trees. Ancient and majestic.
And fucking huge. Fucking huge. Are you allowed to camp in the redwoods? I thought they were only in one forest and like it was a national park. Bonjour.
Must have coffee.
Sean, you sound very much like an adult. Wooden log, campfire. Oh, can we pet the dog? Oh, don't step on the dog. Just pet. It's a good game.
Yeah. Like you don't get pet enough around here.
Oh, you can always pet a dog more. Okay. So, wood log, campfire. Oh, we can sit and draw. Yes, yes. Don't draw the boobs. Without consent, I guess? Draw me like, what is the quote? Draw me like one of your French women. That would have been with consent. Oh, shit.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, oops, wrong button. Whew.
I've looked enough. Time to draw now.
Oh, I just did it, and I already forgot the button to draw. He has some long hair.
Pretty good. But I can add more details if I want.
It's hard to tell if the long hair is
I think
something
I'm
that,
ready to
like,
draw this.
we would want. Like, we're kind of feeling like we're choosing the long hair. Or if it's something where it's like, I just don't have the ability to get my hair cut. I think those are two different moods.
Time to take the pen, dude.
Because I don't think it's been a year yet, so I think Sean is still 16 with all of this. It's just a weird thought. There's just so much that's happened.
Did you see all that fog earlier?
Creeps me out. You don't know what's inside? Like that movie.
The sun has saved us.
They talking about the mist?
Funny how I like being out in the forest now. It's nice to sit here together at night. Like we're a part of something.
Well, it's a bigger feeling of community than if it's just...
Yeah, I've smoked too much again. I'll get him up before Big Joe gets
Get your
here.
breakfast on, dude.
There's a lot of conversations. But, like, right now there's, like, more of a sense of community than just Sean and Daniel. You know, now there's more people to talk to. There's just more. So if we feel like we belong with this group, I imagine that would be a bit of pressure off of you. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a certain part of Sean that would be torn to leave this group if they get along with him. I don't feel like I quite have enough information to know if they actually get along with this group, or if it's just kind of like, well, compared to everybody else, you are great.
I want you to start the day with that asshole yelling.
So I get the feeling they don't like potentially Big Joe, or like somebody here they don't like, but that doesn't mean they don't like everybody. They have water collector.
What's the date today? Is it the 15th or 16th?
These guys have top gear. Wish I did.
Oh, so these are the Europeans, for lack of a better term. This is how Sean talked about them. Hannah, we saw Hannah.
Hannah's so private about her life.
Is she?
Plus, she probably hates my guts.
I'm pretty sure that was Hannah earlier. Whew. I didn't realize we could look at the tents.
I'm not quite sure who Penny is. He's so out there.
Okay, well, let's go look at some of the other tents. Oh, we can look at our tent, but will that mean we go inside? Oh, no. We can inspect or look. Why don't we look?
Gotta say, I'm glad we took some of this stuff. We needed it.
Yeah, so what would we be camping in if we didn't steal all that stuff? Oh. Well, this is all the stuff that we just looked at. I don't think we need to look at it again. Finn. We can look at Finn. We can also inspect this one.
It's a mystery how Finn can be so messy and strong at the same time.
Well, those things aren't, like, mutually exclusive. Oh, was Hannah coming out of Finn's tent? There are condom wrappers in here. And I was not processing during that moment of time in the game. And there's so many names being thrown about. I'm going to be piecing this together the whole rest of the chapter. Okay. Yeah, the grinder makes sense. What are the flies,
I
though?
always spot him reading in the morning. Like he isn't cool enough already.
I mean, reading doesn't necessarily mean cool, but I can see how we see it that way. Also, Lord of the Flies is like a bunch of kids on an island alone with no adult supervision who, like, they make interesting choices. That's the way to put it. They make interesting choices. Lord of the Flies is an interesting choice, like, from the developer's perspective to put in here.
I thought I liked weed, but this guy's on a whole nother level.
Wow, we're just gonna be educated about that particular plant. I don't know how many times I can say that without YouTube being like,
Glad somebody's getting some action.
Is it with Hannah? Is that what happened?
Weird to see him younger.
It
He
probably
looks so
dreadless.
innocent.
Oh. I think without dreads would be the weirdest part. I guess what I do like about, like, how they're setting this up is that there's no shame, blame, and guilt for this stuff. Usually there's so much shame, blame, and guilt about bodies and this idea of, like, well, you can't show boobs, for example, because, like, those should be a shameful type thing and you should hide them. That's a huge way that our society often talks about this. Not here. Like, in this community, again, the whole reason why I'm assuming Hannah was able to walk about with the boobs is because there was no shame, blame, and guilt. Nobody commented on it, which again shows that there's no shame, blame, and guilt about it. And not only that, but the idea of how Sean is talking about the sex. Again, they don't make it a big thing because there's no shame, blame, and guilt about it. And those things I really like about what we're seeing so far. I say this very tentatively, knowing that this game has a habit of saying, this thing that you like, let's twist it. Let's twist it around. But so far, these are things that I like about this community that we're seeing so far.
Finn told me a bit more about train hopping.
Oh?
His map is like his Bible.
I didn't know they made maps like that.
Can't tag a train without paint.
Oh! So is it then that certain tags on trains, like, mean things? That's interesting.
That girl is even more of a sleepyhead than I am.
Okay, so we looked at all of those tents that we just, like, didn't look at. Hannah's in the shower. There's people over here. I don't know what's gonna trigger, like,
I'm so lucky these guys took us in.
movement forward. We got Jacob's tent. Let's look at the water thing.
My turn. Gotta stock up the shower and kitchen later tonight.
Oh, got it.
Wish it rained more. Nice to get fresh free water.
So what do you do if it doesn't rain? I suppose the game might tell me. Where's Daniel, too?
Jake's stuff is always so tidy and neat. Just like him.
Oh, the teddy bear didn't have an eye. Hi, Jake.
What's up, Jake?
Hey, Sean. Not much.
What do you got going on there?
This is a birthday card for my little sister. Don't laugh.
No, I think it's sweet. Where is she or how old is she? I don't know. How old is she?
Aw, that's cute. How old is she?
She's 9 years old now. Like Daniel.
I was gonna
Do you
say.
miss her?
I probably miss her the most. I'm kind of jealous you get to hang out with your brother all the time. But I bet it's hard to be his brother and father figure.
Ask Daniel, that's my job, or miss being alone. Ooh. So, like, other people can see that we have to be both brother and father. But that's hard. That's incredibly hard. More for like Sean than anything else, right? He's not able to just be the brother, just be a kid. Before society says he's not allowed to just be a kid, kind of a thing. Ask Daniel, that's my job, or miss being alone. Miss being alone, I guess, is the one that stands out to me the most, that feels like the thing I'm trying to describe.
Yeah. I do miss being on my own sometimes. You know? Privacy, stuff like that.
Really? I hate being alone. Guess I'm used to having people around. Hey, since you're such a pro big bro, what's a good way to end this letter? Goodbye sounds a bit lame, right?
As far as the being alone thing, I think it's about a balance and finding what works for you. So if none of the stuff happened in the very beginning of the game, there would still be that balance where Sean could go out with his friends and hang out, and like that would be his alone time. It's not about saying, I want to be alone all the time still. It's about finding that balance that works for you. But because Sean is in this situation where he's like the father and brother, he can't have that. He can't have any of that balance. Like, that's the hard part, is that he can't have the balance. Thinking of you, what is she into? Hearts and unicorns. Thinking of you, my first thought is like with love or love you, you know, like those things. I guess thinking of, because hearts and unicorns feels, I don't know, like a Hallmark type card. Thinking of you?
Thinking of you?
I do think a lot about her.
I'm sure she does too.
I don't know. I'm afraid Sarah's a bit mad at me for leaving her. Anyway, thanks for your help, Sean. I gotta finish this before I get ready for work. Don't want to be late or Big Joe will eat me for lunch.
You and me both. See you later, Jake.
Sean, thanks again, man.
It sounds like Jacob is putting like all this pressure on himself. Like, because I'm afraid my sister is mad at me for leaving, whatever their situation is, I have to find the perfect way to end this letter. Almost like that will solve it. Like that will be enough to fix her being mad at him. Which I think is really hard, because realistically, if his sister is mad at him, I don't think the way you end the letter will be what fixes it. But when we're feeling self-conscious and when we're feeling afraid, we have a hard time seeing it that way. If there was honestly one word or phrase that could just fix things for people, I honestly think that pharmaceutical companies would just like package that phrase up and sell it to people for the highest bidder. That's exactly what I think would happen, which kind of shows that the perfect phrase to like fix things with someone doesn't exist. Even though sometimes we kind of feel like it does. It's almost like, well, if I just do one more thing, or if I just pick this one right way to talk about something, then maybe that will fix things.
Must have
I get it,
coffee.
John. I get it. Oh, these are like toilets.
Living large and humbled.
Look, I don't want to look into the shower. Can I get your thoughts on the shower itself? Please don't be looking into the shower.
We shower like once or twice a week. Gives us more time to chill.
Oh my god. Because, like, you can hear that she's still in there. It's like, please don't be actually looking in there. Please don't make me regret this. What are these? What's this? Camp hasn't killed us.
We hold off on Mexico. But can I really keep Daniel here?
It's exactly what I was commenting on, this idea of like, if this community is appealing, will we feel conflicted about Mexico? Camp hasn't killed us, but legalization will. Jeez. Small farms have to stay in illegally. Huh. I have thoughts on that, but I don't know what if those thoughts are like accurate. Are you bugs? Posters, wanted posters. Like, these can't be like wanted posters that other people put up. These have to be posters that this can't put up because it's not very practical to go all the way out here just to put up a wanted poster.
So many missing persons around here.
Is it because of the
Creepy.
farm?
We went swimming there a couple of times. Fucking cold, but fucking awesome.
Oh! I feel like the dog has the same powers as Daniel of teleportation. Also, this dog is doing nothing about that raccoon. You have no interest in chasing it. You're not gonna bark.
Get your breakfast on.
You are the calmest dog I have ever seen. I mean, I'll still pet you, but like, seriously, you're not gonna do anything about that raccoon? Oh, well, they must have done something because the raccoon is gone now. Okay.
Man, I would have killed for something like this back in that freezing house in Oregon.
Except you probably shouldn't have a generator like that inside, you know, fumes in a confined space. Probably not a good combination.
Weird we didn't see any bears with all that trash lying around.
You have raccoons, though. Magical
Time,
raccoons.
son. Man, grab something and sit your ass down.
What?
Those guys sure know how to live outdoors. They've taught me so much already.
I like the lights. Okay, so we have oatmeal. We have water. Coffee. Pour and drink. Oh, task board. You can hang on for just a second with your coffee, Sean.
Yep. I'm up for some heavy barrel lifting tonight.
Camp task.
Yay.
Sean's overwhelming enthusiasm. Yay. Camp task list. Clean bucket, dishes, grocery shopping, restock water tanks, fuel generator. Just do your fucking part. Got it. Sean is overwhelmed with enthusiasm about his part.
Coffee out in the wild is the best coffee.
I mean,
Period.
even really shitty coffee at that point is the best coffee.
What? You hear that?
I heard nothing, Penny.
Maybe it was the coffee brewing. Never mind. You can't hear? Only me.
I don't understand. Why?
How you miss all those insects? How the fuck? The swarm is coming.
I'm processing this too. So, somewhere in the journal, Sean, it says something about someone being like maybe a little paranoid. I didn't think much of it, but I see what Sean means. I really do. So like, I'm assuming that probably everybody here is smoking these plants. We've seen a grinder in the one person's tent, the one person whose name I can't remember. Anyways, we've seen a grinder. We know where they work. This idea, like, this is probably a safe assumption. I don't like to assume, but of the information that I'm given, this is a safe assumption. What I don't know is if they are smoking the stuff from their work. I guess I'm looking at this from this idea of like, how pure is their supply? Because sometimes we get stuff that has other stuff mixed into it, and that can be not great. But they talk about the person who owns the farm and like the security person for the farm that they work at as like very strict. Like that, of the people that they've talked about, those are the people that they talk about as though they do not like them. And so I could see it being to where the owners of the farm make it to where these people cannot smoke the stuff at the farm, which would be like the purest kind of quality, I guess. So it's kind of like, is he smoking stuff that's laced with something else, is where I'm coming from. Or has something that's happened in the past and then is like permanently impacted him? I'm assuming gender here, is continuing to impact him? I don't know. Because that's a lot. That's a lot. Cops or bugs? They sound like they were talking about bugs.
You mean bugs? I haven't seen many flying bugs. Not in the winter, at least.
Sean, narcs, stealth drones, all that shit. Wake up, boy. Look up.
You saw them? When? How?
Because vision, Sean. They watching us now.
That would be shit for me and Anders to lose the job. The cash is good for us to travel.
There's also this weird point when we talk about something that's like paranoia like this, where sometimes it feels like a discussion where it's like, at what point is it paranoia and what point is it just like not? Like, at what point does it feel valid enough to where it's not paranoia, and at what point is it paranoia? And that sometimes feels like a fuzzy conversation. Because we are talking about, like, Sean is a character who has had not great interactions with the police. So could this feel like something that isn't paranoia for him? Or would it still feel like something that is paranoia? I don't know. Because paranoia is perspective. Paranoia is this idea that society at large believes this thing to not be true. But if we believe it, like wholeheartedly believe it, we're not memeing, we're not joking. If we wholeheartedly believe this one thing to be true and is impacting our emotions in that way, like that becomes this, like a paranoia. So like if society at large believes, and this is like a not true thing, right? That that there are no police drones everywhere in the sky, but we do, and we honestly believe that we're seeing them and that they're following us, that becomes a paranoia because society at large doesn't believe it. So this is where it gets fuzzy, right? Because if we're talking about like hypotheticals and it's like a conspiracy theory thing, but it's not like impacting us emotionally, could we say that that's a conspiracy theory and not paranoia? I guess. Like, this is where it feels like it becomes fuzzy sometimes. Same here, or where are you going? I don't know, where are you going?
So, then, where's your next pit stop?
We want to see all the cowboys in Austin. But we spent too much money so far. Traveling is expensive.
Depends how you travel. I mean, look at us. Cush gig. But not when they legalize that shit.
Then you can work legal on the farm, right?
Not if the government steps in. Then the pigs, pill pushers, all bad.
Legal in Washington, can't screw workers, thugs can fuck off. Legal in Washington?
It's legal in Washington, and it's worked out okay. It's gonna be legal everywhere. Soon, anyway.
Legal but controlled. By who? The bitches who made it against the law. Yay, freedom.
I don't know. Things have to change. Oh, did anybody see Daniel? I haven't seen him this morning.
I saw him walking with Finn. They were headed to the lake.
Thanks, Ingrid. I better see what he's up to.
Tell him no swimming. That lake is toxic, man. Nasty.
Wow. I think there's also a thing with like these types of things where when we're kind of talking about conspiracies versus paranoia versus whatever, that if it's not really impacting us, you know, if it's not impacting how we feel, how we act, like it's probably not like a super big deal, right? Like this character didn't seem to fixate on it a ton. He didn't like stop the current conversation to draw it back to what he was talking about, right? Like he responded to conversations in a way that like made sense. You get what I mean, right? Like the conversation naturally drifted to another topic and he went with it. So like if the conversation then continued to talk about like the weather or something else, like it seemed like maybe he would continue to go with that. Like, and it wouldn't say like the weather's good except for the drones. So those things of like, is it paranoia? I don't know. There is also this interesting thing about like when this stuff becomes legal.
I think you forgot something, Sean. You
My
gonna make some more coffee, right?
Oh, sorry. Make coffee.
Oh,
There-
I keep
Sorry.
thinking you're Dutch.
my bad.
Yeah. Not your coffee, boy. We share, always. Because where from again?
Sweden, Malmö. You wouldn't hear about it.
Anyways, I think this is a good place to stop, but I do think there is an interesting shift in like what happens with like businesses and farms and stuff like that when this plant becomes legal. Because could there be control over who works at farms? Potentially. I think it also impacts prices too. So like, could small farms go out of business because they can't basically sell it for a price that makes it worth it? Potentially. So I think that there are sometimes these impacts on like small farms that are hard to see. I'm not saying that like these things are like good or bad or whatever, but I feel like that's kind of what the game is talking about. This idea of like, if this becomes legal, then how will this impact stuff, including like these characters who may or may not be purposely wanting to work under the table. Under the tables and like not be paid legally on the books, like because of various reasons. So we have seen in this like section of video, we've seen a lot. We've seen this new community that we've started to become a part of. And we've seen a little bit about how Sean feels about it. As far as I get the feeling this is like a sense of home, a sense of belonging, at least for some of these people. Because there are some people where Sean was like, I don't think they like me, that kind of thing. We haven't seen how Daniel interacts with these people, but Daniel has to at least like some of them if Daniel is off at the lake with Finn. I mean, Daniel has powers. If Daniel really didn't want to go with someone, he wouldn't go with them. So this sense of community, this sense of belonging, it'll be interesting to see how this continues to plays out, because I do think the mom is going to be important. Because Daniel is focusing on the letter. The mom continues to be just a general theme throughout. So I would love to hear your thoughts on the game and the video, and I'll see you next time.